Well, I'm sitting here going like this. Yeah. Good morning. And as you can see, I'm not down to the coffee shop this morning. I do have coffee, but it's of the BK variety. And in actuality, I spilled some coffee on my shirt already. Not a good time. I went to bed crying. I woke up crying. I have things I need to do today. I have some sandals that I need to return that I ordered online that I was told would fit me, and of course didn't fit. I couldn't fasten them in the back, which, kind of makes them useless to me. So I have to return those. I need to get a box to pack something that needs to go out today. So about 10 o'clock, I'm going to run out, return my shoes, pick up a box. I have packing material. I'm going to come back here, finish packing the last of my stuff, then take it over and mail it out. I haven't decided if I'm going to go to the post office or UPS. I may just go UPS and get it over with, because generally I know I'll get to them easier. And then get back here. I have some writing I want to do this morning. I have writing I want to do this afternoon. It's going to be a long weekend, and I don't want to burn myself out. It's actually a very nice day outside today, and I don't want to end up staying indoors the entire time. It's just one of those things. I know my depression, it's really been creeping up on me this week, and by staying inside, it's not going to help it. At the same time, I don't know what to do if I go outside. No, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't weekend. What can I say? It's tough. So I'm trying to make the best of it. But I was exhausted last night. I wrote 1,500 words of my mermaid story, and then just I was actually falling asleep at the keyboard with the headset on. I'm sitting there talking, and I'm like, It was bad. I really was. I was just totally out of it by the time I went to bed, and slept straight through. But like I said, I went to bed, I cried for a little bit, then just zonked completely out. And I've been real tired. I think it's just a combination of a lot of work that I've been doing. I mean, I've really been pushing myself between writing and work, and just really a hard time. I should actually spend this weekend catching up on sleep. I really should. I could use a couple of really good naps this weekend. But the thing I have to work on is, I got to the point, everybody's been going, hey, is Carrie going to get called out? Is Carrie going to fight Frankie? Hey, spoiler, yeah, he does. He's gonna fight Frankie. The little throwdown they had there in the rotunda that you read about, and people were like, yeah, it's about time he told him off. That's gonna turn into that's actually going to turn into a call out, and I've gotten to the point where all I'm going to say is, do you remember the part in the trailer where Carrie gets knocked back by something? Gets knocked off of a mat. I wonder where that could have happened. Let's just put it this way. something happens during that trial, and yeah, Carrie gets tossed real hard. Also, go back and look at the layout I have for chapter 13, and you'll see that the scene that I'm working on right now is called Sucker Punch. Figure it out. Really, figure it out. But no, Carrie's gonna throw down with Frankie, and it's not going to have quite the same finesse as when Annie fought that kid from Finland. But Dakar, I believe his name was. But it's going to have a satisfying conclusion. My kids. And a lot of people said, I always hate it when they walk away. I hate it when they just like blow the kids off and walk away. You have to realize, Annie's first inclination is to kill someone. If she had went up against Lisa, if Lisa had actually been stupid enough to fight her, Annie would not have held back. Annie would have just let go with whatever she had just to tear Lisa up. And, I mean, we already saw that when she threatened Emma and said, I will just keep getting you in the ring. One way or another, I will get you in the ring. I will get you on that mat, and I will hurt you. And she's saying it in that cold, soft, accented voice of her. And I will get you on the mat, and I will beat your champion, and I will beat the next, and I will beat the next until I get to you. And then I will hurt you. Yeah, this girl does not fuck around. She basically told Emma, I will cripple you. That's what she was hinting at. I will cripple you if I get you on the mat. I will cripple your ass so bad. And she kind of tolerates Emma. So you can imagine when she goes up against Lisa, what sort of hell gets unleashed. Seriously, Annie wouldn't fuck around. Annie would seriously hurt this bitch. So that's one of the reasons why they kind of walk away. I mean, they both know enough death spells, enough Morte spells right now, that they could just, like, from across the map go. But fortunately, Annie can't use dissanguation, so she can't bleed somebody out until they pass out. She can use electrify, though. We've seen that. And she uses it real well. And Carrie was the one that taught her that lesson. So what does that, taught her that spell? What does that tell you? Yeah. So, Carrie's, there's a good possibility he's going to light Frankie up hard. He's going to light him up hard. Yeah. I mean, he taught that spell to Annie. He helped her. She was starting to learn it, and he learned it, and he picked it up real fast, because that's a big science fiction thing, shooting lightning bolts or lasers out of the palm of your hand. Yeah, that's a big thing. So, yeah, he wanted to learn that, and then he showed Annie how to, refine it. And then they started learning how to use weapons. Because that's essentially what they're doing. They're creating an electrified ball of lightning, and then they're turning it into hand weapons they can use. Yeah, think about that. And they're using them to carve zombies in half. Carrie could also use that. Carrie could also use that on a judgment trial. So it makes you wonder, will they have any trouble reattaching limbs? Because I can see Carrie, if he gets totally pissed off, going just full-on Jedi Knight on Frankie and lopping off an arm. How do you feel now, son, with your arm lying on the ground? How do you feel now, Frankie? Yeah, I'm sure they could reattach his arm. I'm sure of it. Yeah, they either reattach it or grow it back or some damn thing, but God. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why they do tend to walk away. Because they have to learn how to. I mean, they're learning how to be guardians. And guardians kind of frown upon somebody who, whenever they get pissed off, just flick magic at them and do something bad. It's a sad state of affairs, but guardians really have to know how to control themselves. They have to. They are the deadliest son of a bitches in the Foundation. I mean, they are. They're people who can kill you with a thought. And I mean, and literally can. So, you know, they have to be very careful about these people. And let's face it, anyone who makes it through several years of Helena's sorcery class is usually being set up to be a guardian. Whether they will do so or not, whether they will get scrubbed out in the end is a different story. With Annie and Carrie, we already know. Christ, they're already training. They've went out on one mission and they're training with them. And they've already been told, you know, Annie's already been told, they both have, that the Guardians want them to go out on a mission this year. So, you know, they're testing them. They've already decided these kids, we don't have to worry about them in terms of, like, being real flashy and throwing around death magic left and right. So let's start, you know, leveling them up. So they frown upon people who are like, oh, you said I wrecked your girlfriend? Well, here. And then Carrie shoots a laser beam out of his finger and hits, you know, Frankie right between the eyes. Yeah, well, how's that? Still think I wrecked her? Man. I should just pour that in my mermaid cup. Yeah, that's the shame with my kids, is that they really have to be better than everyone else. They're already guardians in training. And, you know, their school records are all going to get back to San Francisco eventually. And they don't want it to be seen that they're just beating the shit out of kids who give them a hassle, not if they get called out. But Annie had a right to call out Lisa for what she said. Carrie, he'll get called out. You know he's going to get called out. You'll see it tomorrow. But, which is good, because then he can't call a champion like he needs one. And that's the shitty thing, too. At this point, seriously, after seeing what Annie did as a B-level to a D-level kid who actually does their, you know, the school version of Fight Club, if she calls someone out again, do you really think they're going to get a champion to get in the ring with her? Probably not. I mean, you know, there'll be maybe one or two older students who might think they can defeat her. And maybe they can, you know. Annie's not completely invulnerable. But that's the thing. No one's going to want to fight them. At this point, most of the kids in their level, if they can't find a champion, they're like, I'll take the tension. Just, yeah, don't put me in the ring with her. I'll take the tension. And they kind of will do the same thing with Carrie. I mean, Oh, sure. There'll be one or two people first time out will be like, yeah, I can probably take this kid until he lays some whoop ass on someone, and then he'll probably get left alone as well. So the big disadvantage they have is if they start calling people out, they're probably never going to end up fighting anyone, because even someone is like, oh, would you like to be my champion? Yeah, sure. Who are you going up against? Annie Karolova. No, oh, look at that. I have some place I gotta be at that time. See you around. And they'll do the same thing with Carrie. So who are you fighting? I need a champion. Can you help me out, dude? Yeah, bro. Who are you fighting? Oh, Carrie Malaby. Oh, damn shit, man. Look, I got an appointment on my phone here. It's buzzing me right now. I gotta go. Sorry, I can't help you with that. Later, bro. They're just... Carrie will just show up. He'll get the word. Annie would get the word too. No one wants to fight you. They're taking detention. So pass your judgment and let's move on. Which is exactly what would happen. The kids would take detention and Annie and Carrie could actually pass judgment. Oh, God. And if they keep doing that, if they keep calling people out and stuff, they end up actually starting to look like bullies, which we don't want. They don't want. They don't want the guardians to think they're bullies. That goes bad. And on top of which, at this point, all the instructors would come down on their asses hard, particularly Helena. Helena would, be up in their face big time, going, you want me to call you out? I'll call your little asses out. I'm not afraid of you. Yeah, and she'd call them out just to take them into the manor and teach them a lesson, which would be, there's always someone better than you. You may not have encountered them yet, but you will. And like me, whap, whap, whap. Okay, take them off to the hospital. And she would too. If it really came down to it, if the kids needed an attitude adjustment, yeah, Helena would smack them back into place. Because that really is her job. That's what she's supposed to do. Kids get out of line, you gotta crack them. If you're a parent and your kid's being a bully, you come down on their ass hard and you make certain they don't do it anymore. If you're teaching kids to kill others and they're being bullies, and you're at a school where magical combat is allowed, you haul that kid's ass off to that manor and you whap them. And the majority of the instructors could probably take Annie and Carrie in a fair fight. They probably could. Especially Helena, who has already been out in the field, and she knows quite a few dirty tricks. She knows a few tricks that Annie and Carrie don't, and she would not be afraid to employ them. Here you go, kids. Let me show you a little something I learned down in Colombia when I had to kill a half dozen deconstructors. Yeah. Now, Sky brought up a good point yesterday. She was kind of hoping that Girl Carrie would come out and kick Frankie's ass, because then Frankie would have the humiliation of having his butt kicked by a girl. And I said, well, no, Carrie's not transitioning, not yet. And we already know that it's the first one's, the involuntary one, the first one is going to happen at night. Right now, Carrie's just, his body is going through a lot of crazy stuff because, as they had seen during the summer, there's hormones going on, not just testosterone, but he's showing estrogens within his system as well, as a side effect of what's going on leading up to this transition. So he's having to deal with that. He's having to deal with the fact that he's now got estrogen in his body and it's messing with him. It's messing with him bad. He's not handling He's not handling it well, and it's only a little bit of estrogen, just a little bit. Yeah, let me tell you, I know from personal experience what just a little bit of estrogen can do to your body if you are not ready for it. Yeah. 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 I know exactly what Carrie's going through right now. And, Carrie's biggest problem is he lets people push his buttons. He has not figured out how to turn that part of himself off. And his real problem, the primary reason he blew up at Frankie is because his filters are down. In the past, he would have just flipped Frankie off and kept walking. Went to class and steamed about it a little bit. You should have just went over and smacked the shit out of him and something like that. And he would have been like, calm down, I'll give you a cuddle tonight, don't worry. You always give me cuddles. Well, I'll give you a special cuddle. What kind of special cuddle? I give you, I don't know, a special cuddle. What do you want? What do you think I'm going to give you? I don't know, maybe something special. Okay, let's go to class. They have those conversations. They do. They are sort of like, so I get a special cuddle? Well, actually, Carrie would be over here, so he'd be like, so I get a special cuddle? Perhaps. What do you mean, perhaps? Perhaps if you're good. But how do I have to be good? Be better than you are now? There's nothing wrong with the way I am now. You're acting like a teenage girl. Well, so are you. Yes, but I knew how to be a teenage girl before I was a teenage girl. You don't. You need to learn. So do I still get a cuddle? We'll see. They're actually a cute couple. And do you want to know what that special cuddle is? Special cuddle. Like cuttlefish. I don't know. I have to think about what a special cuddle is. I probably know what a special cuddle is, but I can't talk about that. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that in the future, girl Carrie completely loses her shit and goes off on someone and either gets called out or calls someone out. And seriously, anyone who would go up against Carrie as a girl and they think that she's going to be a big pushover, they better reconsider, because once girl Carrie learns how to channel all that rage, all that emotional rage into a tiny little pinpoint of anger, like women know how to do, we know how to take that and go, it's like a little black hole of being pissed off. And then we turn it loose, and that's when things get real. And once girl Carrie knows how to do that, anyone on the other side of the mat facing her had just better run, because it'll be bad. See, Annie is, and I've stated this before, Annie is the controlled one of the group. She really is. Annie has learned early on, because, she learned how to kill somebody. She learned a Morte spell at 9. She taught herself. Come on. So she knows how to control her emotions. She does. The only person she's ever seen her cry is Carrie. And even then, her idea of crying is like there's 2 or 3, there's a couple of tears trickling down my cheek. I'm crying. So Annie is the controlled one. She's emotional. She is. We know she is, because we've seen that she can get rather passionate. She can also get rather angry. She's been more than pissed off at Carrie's parents this novel. And, basically, she's like, I fucking hate them. She has never said she hated anyone until she said that about his parents. So, she is the controlled one. And I think it's because she knows she cuts loose, it's going to be a bad time for whomever's on the other side. So she holds that in. Carrie, on the other hand, he's the emotional one. He is the one who really has never figured out or never wanted to figure out how to keep his emotions in check. He's like an open wound all the time, and everything hurts him. Like the Graham Parker line, every sort of pressure steps on your toes. That's really Carrie. Carrie, he gets very emotional. And they kind of counteract each other too, because they're also very analytical. Annie knows how to ramp down her emotions and go right for the analytical part of her brain to figure out how to get out of a situation that's really bad. Whereas Carrie swirls all that emotion up into a little tight fist and then uses his brain to figure out how to get out of a situation or how to deal with a situation where he's probably just going to blow shit up. If you remember back to the trailer again, in the trailer, there was a scene where Carrie is basically bathing one end of an entire room in cold fire. He's just shooting a huge mass of cold fire out across a room and covering the other side of the room with it. Come on. What do you think he's doing there? Come on, think about that. Cold fire is not something you screw around with. And that's another one that Annie taught him. I'm going to show you how to do cold fire. Remember the first time in his B level, he was just hoisting a little ball of cold fire up in the air so they had lights so they could snog. Now he's throwing it across a room to mess up something bad. The only reason you'd throw out a gigantic fireball like that is you don't want to burn down whatever the hell it is you're in. But you want to burn something up. And that's a hell of a spell. So, Carrie's doing some bad stuff. He can do it. Annie, yeah, we know her. We know she's going to go at someone with the lightning sticks. She beats somebody up with her collie, then goes after another person with lightning sticks, and she's by herself. So what does that tell you? Oh, these kids of mine. So anyway, that's my rambling on for today. It looks like it's going to be a good weekend here. Well, I hope. I'm not going to be doing much, so it doesn't matter. But wherever you're at, I hope you're having a good weekend. I hope you will have a good weekend. I hope you eat a lot. Don't get too drunk. I know some of you don't drink, so I don't have to worry about that. And I myself, I actually should cut back on my drinking. I actually had beer last night. I had a Guinness, which I love Guinness, but for some reason, man, it just did not taste that good to me yesterday. And I don't understand it. Maybe my taste buds, I'm just getting spoiled on really good crafted beer, but Guinness just did not taste that good to me yesterday. And I was rather surprised by that. Plus, the place I was at, I was getting kind of shitty service too, so, they come over and ask me what I want, and I said, no, I just want my check, and then 30 minutes later, I actually had to go up and say, I'm ready to leave, where's my check? I need my check. So, that's, I wasn't happy, so, not go back there. So, counting down, it's almost 30 minutes, so, I will talk to you later. See you tomorrow. Read the excerpt. Check out my TV recaps. Bye.